Hey, what's up, Internet? Bow to the Dow, back again. Not playing anything today. Full screen Andy is back. Today, I want to say happy birthday to my dad. He passed when I was 12, and that means it's been 18 years since he passed away. I find it important to be open and honest and to talk about things like this since it was such a defining moment in my life. I want it to be a positive impact. I don't want to let it drag me down. I want to make sure that I can use it somehow to help me grow. And I find that that's a really important thing that I hope I can kind of talk my way through this and have you guys understand, and perhaps you'll be able to attempt the same kind of thing that I try and do to help stay happy. Bow to the Tao. I've talked about that before. You have to respect the way of life, and that's all I'm trying to do here. I keep it moving. So just a quick little synopsis, not trying to get crazy or anything. My dad, Steve, was out fishing one night. He fell out of his boat, and even though he's a strong swimmer, the river was stronger. He drowned, and I think that's all that anybody really needs to know. I try not to let that hinder me too much. I try and stay positive. It's been a long time. And so now, after all the time, it's much easier. I understand that it's over. Obviously I wish that it hadn't. I wish that I could still see him, but I found a way to use it. I'm looking down at some notes because I want to make sure I get this message across to you guys. So pardon me if I look down here to make sure I get my message across correctly. If you know me and know me well, then you know that I don't like swimming, which makes sense. My dad drowned, so I don't like swimming. I don't like going out to lakes. I don't necessarily like to go boating or tubing or God forbid somebody asked me to go like whitewater rafting or something. That's just not something that I find enjoyable right now. But it's not because I'm scared. Again, I try not to let it hinder me. It's because the fun has been sucked out of it. I can swim. My dad could swim too. Things can happen. I don't know. Since that event took place in the water, I just don't necessarily have fun in the water anymore. I go in swimming pools. I've done it before. I avoid it most of the time, but it's not really a big deal. It hasn't interrupted too much of my life. I'll do it if that's what's needed of me or expected of me. And brings us to the next point. I work in a preschool and at a before and after school with a summer camp. So in summer camp, what happens a lot is we have water days where we get out sprinklers or go to the pool. I've worked with my management team and other staff to let them know that, like, hey, this this is where my trauma lies, I guess. And so sometimes, I don't often have to go, but again, I try not to let it hinder me. When I'm there at the water trip, I'm following the rules. I'm in the pool with the kids. I'm watching all of them. But man, you can imagine having to watch 60 kids go swimming, and I'm just looking around, making sure everybody's good. But I'm also trying to play. I'm doing everything I can, even though it's maybe a little bit paranoia inducing. Maybe that's how I should say it. But let's circle back to the positive spin, huh? my dad passed away, yes, but what I've done is I try and remember the good times. I try and remember, we lived at this white house that was like a farmhouse. We didn't farm, but that's what it was before. It was on several acres of land, and I remember he mowed like a, a little racetrack for a four-wheeler into the old corn stalks for me. That was awesome. I remember going to some little carnival type thing in Muscatine with him and in a park, and I remember playing magic cards with him when I was young and teaching him how to do it. I had a lot of fun doing all kinds of things like that. And looking forward, I want to, even though he's not here, I want to make him proud. I know now that I'm older, I know that he had some serious issues, which I'm not going to dive into with you guys. But in my head, when he passed at 12, he was still that, big, strong, kind, perfect father figure for me. And my parents were divorced too. I only got to see him part-time. I only got to see him every other weekend is how it worked for me. But that's how I saw him in my head. That's the image that I still have in my head. So I kind of use that to my advantage because I try and emulate that person that I imagine him to be in my head. Even though I know that that's not the full truth, that's what my brain sees. That's what I want to try and be. And so that's kind of how I turn tragedy into triumph. I imagine this perfect, big, strong, happy, kind-hearted father figure in my head that everybody's friends with, and he's got a big smile, and that's what I want to put into the world too. I want to put out to the world what he gave to me. So we all have our personal struggles, but I think that, how do I say this? I think that letting it drag you down and feel the guilt and the sorrow, which you have to do. I'm not saying bottle up your emotions, but I'm saying try and you think your way through it, and hopefully you can arrive at a positive spin like I have, so you can use it to your advantage. I forgot to throw in there, I have a couple tattoos that help me remind me of my dad. He was, I don't know, big influence for me. But I try and use it to propel me forward. You have to be open, honest, and authentic about your issues. Make sure you talk about it. I'm putting it out here on the internet instead of keeping it in. You have to talk to people about it so that hopefully eventually you can arrive at this not conclusion. It's a journey. There is no end point, so that you can get to a point where you can use it to your advantage. Hey, shout out right there. Be open, authentic, and honest. Coach JV. I've seen him on TikTok and YouTube. I don't know if anybody else has heard of him, but might as well toss him in here because that's something he says a lot. Here I am, trying it. But hopefully you can find your own positive spin, and hopefully you can use that to your advantage to help you grow. Thank you so much for watching and listening to my little ramble. I hope that everybody can find a way to benefit from the struggles, because there's no point existing being sad the whole time. So one last time, I just want to say happy birthday to my dad, Steve. I love ya. I hope you're watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope all you out there enjoyed the video, and until next time, I hope you remember to have fun. Peace.